welcome back to my channel, Mingby and I. My name is Mandy and I am a full-time reseller. I am going to take you along with me today. We are kind of at a slow start to the morning. It is Monday. It's 10:14. Sometimes you just have to sleep in. For whatever reason, I've just been kind of feeling low energy. I'm sure it's because I've kind of been eating like garbage, so I thought I would kind of do a reset Monday. I know most people do it on a Sunday. That probably makes more sense. But I don't have too much going on today. The post office is closed, so it's not like a rush to get there. I did drop off all of the packages from the weekend yesterday in the little drop-off bin, but I do have some from like late last night to this morning, so we can pull those and pack those. I am going to go to the thrift store that has the 80% off on Mondays. We'll see if we find anything there. That is the place I like to kind of just look around to, because that is what is going to be going in the bins like come Wednesday. As far as work stuff goes, not too much needs to be done today. I already did all of my computer stuff in the morning, so my listings are live. They've been cross-listed. And then I do need to list stuff yet today for tomorrow. I've been running into a little bit of an issue with inventory. The Goodwills in my area have been horrible recently. Normally I can pick up, a couple things here and there that helps with the bin situation, because the bins I only go every other day. So like they switch out every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So whatever's there for Monday and Tuesday, that's just it. They don't continuously keep moving. So it's not like I can go there every day and I'm gonna find something new. Potentially I could, just because I don't think I see everything, but that's just not worth my time. So like I said, Goodwill can normally, help me fill in the gaps there. But yesterday I went on Sunday. That's when all the colors kind of change. I went to 2 stores and I didn't buy anything. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with Goodwill. I think I have enough listings for tomorrow to list today. I do like to stay ahead of the game, because this weekend I will be out of town. I am going back home to have a sleepover with my sister and my nieces for my birthday. We'll see what we're gonna do there. I'm sure it'll be just a lot of Disney Plus and screaming, but that is what you do when you are an auntie. So I want to get ahead of the game for that. I was trying to kind of wrap my brain about where else I could get inventory. I thought about going back to the place that still has things for $1, but I've gone there so many times now, nothing is new. What I have listed is like slowly moving, so it's like I don't want to keep putting that into my inventory because it's not quick movers. So I don't think I'm going to do that. If anything, if I run into an issue towards the end of the week, I will just not list anything new and delist, relist more items. So that's kind of the game plan for work-related stuff. I do need to pick up something for dinner tonight. And then I've also been trying to do a refresh on my diet. I have struggled with food forever. I have a horrible relationship with it. Ever since I was a teen, it's been up and down and whatever. I have done every diet there is. I've done keto, I've done Weight Watchers, I've done pretty much everything except obviously the new weight loss drugs. They're super expensive. And like where the food gets shipped to you, that just seems a little bit too expensive for me. I would like to land somewhere where I still get to eat what I want, but I just need to learn better habits and just kind of get my wrap around what my issue is with food and just get a better handle on why I'm emotionally eating and fix that part so that it's not an issue on the back end. So anyways, with that being said, I am trying to implement small changes. In the past, I have tried, being really strict with things and saying no more of this, more vegetables, whatever. And I can normally follow that for like a week, 2 weeks, depending on what my schedule's like. I do like a really big deep dive into it and I'm excited about it. And then once that kind of excitement goes away and I start having cravings for the things that I want, that's kind of when I start spiraling. One of my issues with food is I do use it as a reward. So what has happened in the past is I do it for 2 weeks and I'm like, hey, I didn't have this for 2 weeks, so I'm going to do it. Then that kind of just starts into a downfall and then I have to start all over again. So anyways, with that being said, I have been trying to implement small things. So I am telling myself throughout the week, and I'm not doing like a whole month, I'm just saying take it week by week, There has to be one meal through the entire week that I am eating something that is healthy, it's good for me, it's not processed, it's not whatever. So I have decided that that's going to be lunch. Lunch is pretty easy for me unless I am like out and about, but I'm normally back home in time to eat lunch. So what I've been doing is just kind of making my own vegetable soup. That way there's not like a whole bunch of preservatives in it. If it's canned soup, I am picking which vegetables I want in there. I kind of switch it up. I'm also trying to make it really easy for myself where I'm not like, well, I have to buy all this fresh vegetables, blah, blah, blah. So I do get frozen. I know that that's not always the best, but A, it's cheaper. B, it's quick so that I am not spending all day, you know, cutting up vegetables. So I just use frozen vegetables, pre-made stock, put some parsley in there, put some seasonings in there, put some lemon juice in there, and make that for the week. So then they are all portioned into little portion cups. So I know this is what I get for lunch. So I can feel good that I made at least one good decision that day and hopes that that will continue on. And then I won't feel bad about myself if I eat like garbage the rest of the day. I hope that I don't. I mean, I normally don't. It's just I sometimes get into a spiral and then it's like, well, you know, I ate like crap already the rest of the day, so let's just continue on to dinner. So this way it's kind of like a little bit of a reset in the middle of the day. So that was a long story to say that I do need to make that soup yet today. So other than that, let's go pull the orders. Okay, so we are back in the inventory room. I'm gonna pull some stuff here really quick. I don't think I'm gonna film all that because I have to move all this stuff around. So I will meet you back in my office and we will ship these. Okay, I will shut my door because I realized I have a horror movie on, so you probably saw or heard people screaming before, so that's what that is. So I did just get a Depop sale, so I'm going to run quick and pick that. So I have a hat that I cannot find. It's like I have a vague memory where I was like, oh, I'm going to put this here. I know I'll remember it's there, but I can't find it. Just kidding. We found it. Okay. So we will start with Poshmark sales. Surprisingly, Poshmark has gone up, which is great. I was a little concerned there after the whole situation with the fee structure change. This last weekend was good. I've been getting some this morning. Last week was decent, so fingers crossed it's all kind of working itself out. For Poshmark orders, I do use the flat right padded ones. I might start using the Tyvek ones just because it does take a lot less space. But I do like the fact that you just rip this off and it's self-adhesive. Okay, so I'm kind of moving you guys because I need to use my computer. I film on my phone. I still haven't picked a camera yet, which I need to do. So I need to see what everything sold for and where it's going. First up is this Kindred Bravery bra. This went for an offer of $25. You'll see more in-depth of all these items on my what sold video. I'm not sure when this is coming out, if it will be before or after that. We'll see. Next up is a Harry Potter kids, like, I called it an invisibility cloak. I don't know if that's exactly sure what it was, but I mean, it was like a star. There'll be a picture of it. Stars and kind of like a mesh little cape. This ended up going for an offer of $18. For all of my Halloween stuff, I am definitely taking offers. We are at October 14th, so I don't want to get stuck with too much of it. But all the Harry Potter stuff that I've bought, I think I only have the Raven's Claw cloak left. Otherwise, everything else is sold. And then the last item for Poshmark for right now is this Vince Camuto animal print top. I have like no recollection where this came from. If I had to guess without looking at my records, I think probably that Quick Lots box that was really bad. This ended up going for $22. I know Stanley is really popular, but to me, those cups are way too small. I drink probably at least a gallon of water a day. So I have like these big ones. So this is what I drink in the morning. I try and finish one by like 11. So at least that part of my healthy journey I have no problem with, is drinking water. Okay, now for Depop. I do have 3 items going out. Depop has really been doing great for me recently. I think I have really kind of tweaked my thrifting to what is actually wanted on Depop for those items. Before I kind of was just going off like what my gut was. I have been doing a lot of research on the app itself, Depop, just kind of seeing what's popular there, what keywords people are using, as opposed to just kind of like what I think should be over there. So this one is, I believe it was Quaker Factory. All the tags were cut on this, but I was able to use Google Lens. It's a maxi denim jean, like kind of baggier dress. It did have some floral details and maybe some bees or butterflies. I don't know. You'll see on the listing that I pop up. I don't know if that's going to be big enough. I do get all of my poly mailers from Amazon. I just keep stuff in my cart and watch for it to go on sale, or just continuously use the ones that are the cheapest. I choose not to use like holiday ones just because they seem to be quite a bit more expensive. And then I just have cheap thank you stickers. You can get those anywhere, and I put one on there. So that's this. This is the one that just came in. This one did not have a brand. It had a tag that looks similar to like a Shein type thing with the size on it. Someone did pay full price, $25. You'll see the photo. Keywords definitely sold this. So this will fit in the black ones. These are my favorite. These are really high quality. I can link them below if anyone is interested. And they have, for the last, I don't even know, probably 6 to 8 months have been the cheapest. White maybe is cheaper, but I'll do a color. I won't do just white because I think that's too boring, but I will pay for at least a color. Oh, if anyone's interested, the dress is going to Seattle, Washington. The denim dress was going to Washington, and then this kind of sexier one is going to California, Fontana, California. This next one I need to roll out a bit. While I'm doing this, I'll kind of talk to you about where I got the keywords for this one. So, oh, no, I'm not going to remember his name. Starts with a J. Jackson, maybe, I think his name is. I can put his information in the description. He has been someone that I think has been pretty popular on Depop for quite a while. He's pretty big, I think, in the vintage YouTube scene. I trust what he says quite a bit, and this one I think definitely was sold by the keyword Jesse Pinkman. I just saw this on one of his videos that he had been using that's been like a trending keyword. If you're not familiar with who that is, it's from Breaking Bad. Aaron Paul played that character. He was like a drug dealer type kid. But this hat, it does not have branding. If I had to guess, based off of like this tag, I don't even know if you can see it, like Walmart maybe, this ended up going for $15. It's pretty beat up. It has bleach stains. There's quite a bit of pilling. I did do some sweater shaving, but someone still paid $15 for this. I picked this up at the bins, probably paid, I don't know, 50 cents for it. So that's another reason why I think it's important to make sure you're staying current with the keywords. I know there's a lot out there that have been there for quite a while, and those are getting to be pretty saturated. So I'm trying to make sure that I am ahead of the game with that. This little bag I used is bread bags from Walmart. They have gone up in price. They used to be like $2 something. Now they're $3, but still you can't beat it. They're 100 bags for $3. And then I just close them shut with the thank you sticker. Okay, so this one is going to Seattle, Washington. So we'll get these out of here, and then I have 2 eBay orders. So these 2 were in the bin behind me for auctions. If you're new to the channel, this is just like a liquidation tactic that I've been using. If I've had something for quite a while, there's been no interest, or if I just want to move it quickly, I will throw it up for auction. anywhere from like $5.99 to, depending on the brand, it could be like $15.99, and just kind of let it go through for a couple weeks. If no one gets it at that price, then I know, hey, it's time to move it to Plato's, ThredUp, rummage sale, or just redonate. So that's where these two are from. The first one is this blue top. I picked this up at the bins. It was pretty lightweight. Had it all during summer and there was no interest, so I threw it up. I think they got this for $5.99 plus shipping. This one is going to San Antonio, Texas. The next one I have to pause the video for a second because I have to do some different things on here. I believe it's going to an army base, so it has like a little customs type form that needs to get filled out and signed. So I will get that ready to go and then I will get back. Okay, so this one is going to an army base. I will cover up the two addresses just so you can kind of see, and it does come with all this information. For these labels, I do print it out on my actual like paper printer. It's just too small when I try and print it on my label printer. You do have to sign it. It does have some rules here on the instructions. I don't know if it's like you have to completely do everything it says. I just make sure that I do. It just says verify that all information is correct. Place your label so it does not wrap around the edges of the package. If tape or glue is used, do not tape over barcode. Be sure edges are secure. Item must be mailed on the mailing date selected. That I do make sure that I do. So that'll be for tomorrow because the post office is closed. And I believe it's said on here. And then it says packages may not be placed in a USPS collection box. Please present to a retail associate in the U.S. Postal Service retail outlet. Hand it to your letter carrier at the time of mail delivery or schedule a carrier pickup. Sorry, you guys kind of moved here. So that I do make sure that I go in and give that to them. I don't know if you have to do that, but you know, it's the U.S. Army and the Postal Service. So I figure just better go by what they say. So what I'm going to do is I'll sign this and I will tape it on here so it's secure. And then this one I'll put in a different place so that I make sure that this one I go in and give it to someone. I have had these in the past from Poshmark, and since Poshmark labels are different than eBay, like this wouldn't let me print the label until I did the drop down. I just let everything be pre-populated, make sure the weight it was correct. Then it let me print this label. Anyway, on Poshmark, I've had some that came back to me, and I'm assuming it's because I didn't have this specific label to get into the army base. So, all right, so I don't have the barcode covered with tape. I don't really think that matters, but regardless, I followed the rules. I will put my thank you sticker on there, and that is all that I have for packages right now. So it's currently almost 11 o'clock. I think we could probably go to the thrift store. It normally dies down there around noon. They open at 10. I'm not into everybody that rushes in. It's like, I will get what I meant to get. I'm not going to be pushing people out of the way for stuff. So I will probably get moving here in a minute. I'm going to let Griffin out and then probably go, and then we'll come back and we'll make our soup. Okay, so we are back home now. I didn't really get any footage. It was super busy everywhere I went, even the grocery store. And it seemed like one of those days where this drives me absolutely nuts, where wherever you want to be, there's like 3 people that are right on top of you. So when that happens, that's like one of my biggest pet peeves. I just kind of, you know, zone in on what I need to do and get the hell out of there. I got a couple things, only 6. Some of them I probably paid more than I should have. But like I said, I do need some inventory. So cost was $35 for the 6 items. And then that leaves me with an average cost of goods of $5.83. When we got home, I was going to make my soup like I talked about earlier, but I completely forgot that I have to restock my booth today, and that's like at a certain time, like 3:30, and it's currently 1 o'clock. So I need to get this stuff inventoried. I need to get my listings done because I don't want to be doing that late at night. So we're going to have to skip the scoop. We're going to have to skip the soup for today. Maybe in a different video, I will show you that. So back to the items. This one I did pay full price for, $14.98. It is a Levi's Sherpa-lined jacket. It's women's extra large. If it wouldn't have been extra large, I probably would have passed, maybe. But this is from 2017, so it's not vintage or anything like that. I'm hoping to probably like double this, maybe a little bit more. The Sherpa feels a little bit worn, but we'll see. This was a new to me brand. I did pay full price, $4.98. It's called Little Donkey Andy. The comps on the brand didn't look great, but this style, I think I can use some other keywords to help it sell for more than what the comps were showing me. These little puffer skirts for like winter normally do fairly well, so I'm having high hopes for this. This was a style pickup and based on the fabric content. It's 70% lamb's wool, 20% Angora rabbit hair, and then 10% nylon. It is vintage Leroy knitwear. That I don't know what that is. Green was 80% off, so this was $17.98. But the style definitely made me want to pick this up. It is very kind of like almost like goth Victorian. If you can see, it has this beading, and then it also has lace, which I think is, yeah, so it's like a see-through kind of like sexier looking top there in the front. And then there's some beading detail and these really pretty buttons on the sleeve and in the back here. So I thought that this was great for the upcoming season. Can use a lot of keywords on this one. I'm gonna hope to get, I don't know, I might shoot for 40 on this just based on the fabric content. It's kind of a cooler looking design you don't see all the time. This color is a little bit summer, indigo soul. I don't know, maybe like a TJ Maxx type deal. But this is screaming Y2K to me. Boho with this maxi length. It has crochet. It's tiered. This was $9.98, but it was 80% off. This was one that I probably could have waited for it to get to the bins, but like I said, I'm desperate for inventory. This was another style-based pickup. This would probably be kind of cute with that sweater, actually. This, it did not have a brand. I'm assuming it's older because it is made in the USA and it does have a paper tag. So it's normally a pretty good giveaway. There's no stretch to this, so it's like your waist has to be exactly what this is for this to fit. But it is a maxi length, kind of like silver iridescent look with these velvet roses on here. Very witchy, very whimsy goth, very cottage goth, all of those. So I'm hoping this will be good. This would be even cute if you had this for like a prom dress and had some sort of like intricate black crop top. I don't know, do girls still do that? Do you do the two separate pieces anymore for prom? And then this was the last one I picked up. This is also style-based, Sag Harbor, size small, $5.98, so it was only like $1. This was based on the style, very 90s. This is all one piece. This lays a little bit closer together when you have it on. And then the striping in the back, it's all knit and pullover. So that's everything that I picked up on this thrift trip. So I got 6 items, so I know I have at least enough with what I have and what I have here to list 10 tomorrow, and then I'll be at the bins tomorrow, so hopefully I get more. So this was kind of a sporadic work with me, a day in the life. I don't normally do these very often. I do get requests for them. I just personally think I'm pretty boring. So it's like, I don't know what to show you guys, but I definitely will start doing them more. I'll probably talk about this a little bit more in my What Sold Wednesday video this week. I'll just touch on it right now. There was a period of time where I didn't really know, what I wanted to do with my Friday videos. I feel like I'm getting a little burnt out with the reseller content just because I'm making it, I'm watching it. It's a lot to always be consuming and creating that. That I would maybe branch out a little bit into some more lifestyle stuff. I live in a really pretty town, and I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I just have not experienced, I have not found, I have not seen. So I kind of was thinking maybe some of those Friday videos or Monday videos, whenever, I might, take you along with me to a new cafe or a new hiking trail or, something along the lines of that, just to kind of branch out a little bit. Maybe I'll throw some reselling content within that video, but I think I just need a little bit of a break to continue with YouTube just because it's getting a little bit too mundane for me. So with that being said, if you have not subscribed and you've made it this far and you're interested in those type of videos or reseller content, I do what sold videos, come thrift with me, some unboxings, not as many, thrift hauls, any of that, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. And as always, if you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to give it a like. It really helps out the channel and I really appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!